If I had to summarize the essence of Cuban music in the guitar, I will play this. Because those are the most basic chords, and those are like the essence of everything that happens in Cuban music.
What's your first memory of hearing the guitar?
It was Joaquin Clerch playing a concert at the auditorium.
What style of music did you listen to most growing up?
Well, it was mostly classical, especially opera, because my aunt is an opera singer, but also rock, like goth, metal, and punk.
How does the guitar fit into popular culture in Cuba?
Not only it is part of the folklore that comes from Spain, that is called the punto cubano, which is one of the genres, but also it became a very, very important instrument into our main genres of music, like the son and like the trova, which is like the typical kind of Cuban song. It is so important for us that even in the souvenirs, you will see the tobacco, the flag, and a guitar.
Tell us about music education in Cuba.
They choose kids from all over the country based on their talents. Well, we're the ages of 8 years old and 10 years old, and they enter into a specific school for music, where they are trained very, very heavily on the methods, the European methods and the Russian method. So it is a very thorough system. It is very high level. And it is also, I think, guided by love, because sometimes it is super challenging to just do guitar in a country that is so poor. I remember sometimes I will be sitting playing Bach in my classroom, and I will be playing a guitar that was full of termites. And I was playing a D that wasn't a D, but actually a G, because we didn't have the strings. So those are the miracles that the love for music creates.
Can you give us the history of guitar education in Cuba in a nutshell?
The guitar education in Cuba started actually by a woman, yes. Clara Romero de Nicola. She was born in Spain and she studied at the Lyceum in Barcelona. She was very influenced by Pujol and by the Tárrega School of Guitar. And when she came to Cuba, she started to organize not only a conservatory called the Tárrega Conservatory of Music, but she also joined the Municipal Conservatory of Music, which was the most important institution in Cuba for the study of music at that time. Later on, she created also a method for her classical guitar that she co-created with her son, Isaac Nicola, and that became the primal method for the guitar instruction in our country, to the point that all of those guitarists that are nowadays, figures in the world, they all learn by that method. And internationally, of course, you get those big names that just came out of the islands, like Manuel Barrueco, René Izquierdo, Irliana Matos, that have been shaping the guitar all around the world.
Tell me about the famous guitar festival in Havana.
Well, that will for sure be the Festival de Guitarra de La Habana, which was an idea of Jesus Ortega and Maestro Leo Brauer. It brought to Havana the greatest people in the guitar worldwide. I remember being a small child, like 10 years old, and attending there and opening also the festival, being part of the kids orchestra. And that was a magical moment for all of us, because we get like a peek of what was happening in the outside world, and we will get the opportunity of interacting and learning from those amazing inspirational figures in the classical guitar world.
Who were your non-Cuban guitar heroes growing up who had exposure in Cuba?
When I was growing up, it was very, very difficult to get any information from what we call the outside world. However, some information and some music was leaked. I remember that I was heavily influenced by Anna Vidovic, especially because, she was young and she was a female guitarist, so I felt like I had some sort of role model. But another one that we had a huge influence in Cuba was Paco de Lucia, the great maestro. He came to Cuba and he used to do free concerts for all, and those were always amazing experiences. Well, thank you so much, EFA, for having me in these 4 episodes. It's been a pleasure to be the host. And like always, like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment. This time, I would like to know, which is your favorite Cuban song? Let's build a playlist. See you in the comments.